Workers are entitled to certain employment rights, including getting the national minimum wage, protection against unlawful deductions from wages, the statutory minimum level of paid holiday, the statutory minimum length of rest breaks, to not work more than 48 hours on average per week, or to opt out of this right if they choose. Protection against unlawful discrimination. Protection for whistleblowing, reporting wrongdoing in the workplace. To not be treated less favourably if they work part-time. They may also be entitled to statutory sick pay, statutory maternity pay, statutory paternity pay, statutory adoption pay, and shared parental pay. The national minimum wage is the minimum pay per hour almost all workers are entitled to, depending on their age and if they're an apprentice. You can calculate the minimum wage you're entitled to on this website. Almost all workers are legally entitled to 5.6 weeks paid holiday per year, known as statutory leave entitlement or annual leave. An employer can include bank holidays as part of statutory annual leave. Most workers who work a 5-day week must receive at least 28 days paid annual leave per year. Part-time workers get less paid holiday than full-time workers. They're entitled to at least 5.6 weeks of paid holiday, but this amounts to fewer than 28 days because they work fewer hours per week. You can calculate your holiday entitlement on this website. It is against the law to discriminate against anyone because of age, being or becoming a transsexual person, being married or in a civil partnership, being pregnant or on maternity leave, disability, race including colour, nationality, ethnic or national origin, religion, belief or lack of religion or belief, sex, sexual orientation. These are called protected characteristics. Discrimination can come in one of the following forms. Direct discrimination, treating someone with a protected characteristic less favourably than others. Indirect discrimination, putting rules or arrangements in place that apply to everyone, but that put someone with a protected characteristic at an unfair disadvantage. Harassment, unwanted behaviour linked to a protected characteristic that violates someone's dignity or creates an offensive environment for them. Victimisation, treating someone unfairly because they've complained about discrimination or harassment. If you think you've been unfairly discriminated against, you can inform your supervisor, speak to your union representative, contact ACAS, report it to the police, make a claim in a court or tribunal. When you are too ill to work, you can get £92.05 per week statutory sick pay, SSP. It's paid by your employer for up to 28 weeks. You need to qualify for SSP and have been off work sick for 4 or more days in a row, including non-working days. When you take time off to have a baby, you might be eligible for statutory maternity leave and statutory maternity pay. Your employment rights are protected while on statutory maternity leave. This includes your right to pay rises, accrue holiday, and return to work. Your maternity leave will last for a year unless you tell your employer you want to return earlier. It can't last longer than a year. The shortest maternity leave you can take is 2 weeks. This goes up to 4 weeks if you work in a factory. You're entitled to return to the same job after maternity leave if you've been away 26 weeks or less. Your pay and conditions must be the same as or better than if you hadn't gone on maternity leave. Contract of employment. Your employer does have to give you a written statement within 2 months of you starting work. The statement must contain certain terms and conditions. This might include your name and name of the employer, amount and frequency of wages, including any overtime or bonus pay, hours of work, holiday, sick and redundancy pay, resignation and dismissal regulations. Your employer must provide you with a payslip. Your payslips can be used as proof of your earnings, tax paid and any pension contributions. Employers can choose whether they provide printed or electronic payslips. Payslips must be provided on or before payday. Your payslip must show your earnings before and after any deductions, the amount of any deductions that may change each time you're paid, for example, tax and national insurance. It is important to keep your payslips and any other paperwork from your employer or HMRC safe, as you might need it at a later stage as proof of earning. Workers over 18 are usually entitled to 3 types of break: rest breaks at work, one uninterrupted 20-minute rest break during their working day if they work more than 6 hours a day, daily rest, 11 hours rest between working days. For example, if they finish work at 8 p.m, they shouldn't start work again until 7 a.m. the next day. Weekly rest, either an uninterrupted 24 hours without any work each week, or an uninterrupted 48 hours without any work each fortnight. If you have a dispute at work or with your employer and it can't be solved internally, you can make a complaint using this website. Your complaint will be forwarded onto the relevant agency, HMRC, GLA, HSE, depending on the type of complaint. The state pension is a regular payment from the government most people can claim when they reach state pension age. Your state pension age depends on when you were born. You can find out your state pension age by using the calculator on the gov.uk website. State pension is determined by the number of years of completed national insurance payments made. Redundancy is a form of dismissal from your job. It happens when employers need to reduce their workforce. If you're being made redundant, you might be eligible for certain rights, including redundancy pay, a notice period, a consultation with your employer, the option to move into a different job, time off to find a new job. You must be selected for redundancy in a fair way, for example, because of your level of experience or capability to do the job. You can't be selected because of age, gender, or if you're disabled or pregnant. If you are, this could be classed as an unfair dismissal.